You are listening to the Healthy Happy Mommy podcast, episode number 50.
You are listening to the Healthy Happy Mommy podcast with Nikki Lee Gorovich, the faith, health, and business style podcast for Christian boss moms, so you can train from a fellow mompreneur and other experts how to run your business, raise your babies, and maintain your health, all while keeping God at the center of it all. Here's your host, organic obsessed, crazy chicken lady, and world's okayest mom, Nikki Lee Gorovich.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Healthy Happy Mommy podcast. I am so sorry that you haven't heard from me in like almost 2 weeks. That was not my intention. I was dealing with this sinus infection for, it was literally like going on 10 or 11 days. It was terrible. I have not been sick in years. And, well, actually, I shouldn't say that because I had a cold or something in March because I was like stressed out. I remember that, and I like brought this on myself, which I totally know that I did that. But I'm not really one to ever not feel good or like really get sick because of my diet and just like, trying to be healthy and trying to maintain myself and stuff. I normally don't get sick. And I definitely don't suffer from seasonal allergies the way that I used to. I used to get them pretty badly. I would have to take medicine and stuff, and I haven't taken anything for them in years, and I haven't suffered in years. But this season, I don't know what is in the air this season, but something new is in the air. Let's just say that, because I had the worst case of allergies that turned into a sinus infection, and I will tell you what, that thing tore me up. I could barely even get off the couch. I was in so much pain. My head was hurting so bad, and if you know me, you know that I'm not really into taking any over-the-counter drugs or medicine or anything like that. I don't like to take NSAIDs or any type of pain relief. I really don't, unless it's brutal, unless I have to, but even then it's got to be really limited because I really like to know how my body truly does feel, and I obviously try to limit the amount of, chemicals that I'm putting into my body. So anyway, long story short, I was in such bad pain for literally, I had a headache every single day for, I think, like 10 or 11 days. Every single day of my life, my head was hurting. It was so bad. I was like crying at one point, like, why can't I just feel better? Why am I feeling so miserable? This is just terrible. It was not fun at all. But I'm finally feeling better. I'm back to normal. That is the reason why I couldn't record, you guys, because number one, I was all congested, so that's not really ideal for podcasting because it just sounds terrible, and I could barely keep my eyes open, and my head was just pounding so badly, so I couldn't even think about getting on here to talk with you guys, even though I really missed it, and I love you guys so much, but mama's got to do what she's got to do, and you got to take time for yourself and make sure you get better. So anyway, I am better and I am back, and I hope you guys are not mad at me for not recording, and I hope you're still following. But if you're not, I'm sorry for you. But if you are, yay. Let's dive into today's episode. We are going to be talking about summer and kids and responsibilities and how the heck do we keep our kids off of the screens and the devices all summer? What do we do with them? What should we do with them? How do we not let them run around like ragamuffins all day long and not be productive? That kind of thing. So if you are local to my area in New Jersey, your kids might have already finished school. Ours finished yesterday. It was their last day, and I know some others are finishing up this week. So happy summer to you. Happy no more lunches for the summer. Happy no more homework for the summer. This is a really exciting time. Obviously, we are all pretty excited about this around here. However, if we're all just going to be honest with each other, which I know you want me to be honest with you because that's how I roll. it's not always so pleasant having the kids home all the time. And that's because, for the first week, everybody's happy and stuff. And, we're going to do so many fun things and it's so relaxing. But after that, it's like, okay, mom, now we're bored. Now what do we do? He's touching me. She took my stuff. When can we go out? When can we do this? When can we do that? And you're like, oh my gosh. And if you work like I do, it's even harder because you might have to find childcare for the summer. You might have worked a really long day just to come home to your kids who have waited for you all day long and now they want to play with you, but you're tired and you just need a little bit of time to recharge your batteries and, kind of regroup. Maybe you want to work out, maybe you want to just do something for yourself, and you feel a little bit guilty because the kids have been home all day long and they want to hang out with you, and you're just quite frankly pretty tired. Because for us parents who work, we don't get summer vacation, right? We don't get summer break. So it's still the same exact day every day for us whether the kids are in school or not, right? So it does throw a little bit of a monkey wrench into the situation when your kids are home from school and you still have to go to work. And you angel parents who stay home with your kids, I'm not saying you all aren't working, because I know for sure you're working double, if not triple, the amount that we parents who get to get out of the house, because you guys are with them all day in the trenches doing the hard work all day long, and you don't get a break and you don't get adult interaction mostly, and you're just exhausted and you don't get to escape. So I feel you on that. I have a lot of good friends that are in that situation, and I just pray for you. It's hard. It takes a special person to be able to do that, and I am not one of them. I'm good for a couple days, but no way. Mama, just don't play that game. I just don't have the patience. But anyway, so either way, whatever situation you're in for the summer, we really want to be thinking about what are we going to be doing with the kids? How are we going to keep them productive? How are we going to keep them from complaining that they're bored, from whining and crying, from fighting, from leaving their stuff all over the house, and from making a huge mess with all their stuff, and the dreaded devices and the dreaded screens that all of us are trying to limit our kids from, because it's like an epidemic. Like, the screens are insane, It's like, can I play on my iPad? Can I play on the computer? Can I play on the PS4? Can I play on the Xbox? Can I watch TV? It's like, holy moly, like there's so many different things pulling at the attention of our kids. And, yes, I am right there with you. I am guilty too. Yes, go on your iPad. Yes, go on the computer. Yes, do this, because it's like, get out of my hair already. And at least they're like entertained for a few minutes. But we as parents need to be mindful of the amount of screen time that our kids are getting, because it is showing to be real detrimental for their growth, for their socialization, for their health, for their ability to use their imagination and just kind of problem solve and figure things out. Because on the devices, there's not really much, in the way of like critical thinking. They don't have to socialize with other human beings. They don't have to, get out and play and get out in the sunshine and, dig around. And, it's just kind of like screens, and it's really not good for them. And I'm not trying to go down that road right now. I'm sure you guys are well aware of the dangers of, too much screen time. But today I just want to talk to you guys about what we do for the summer to maintain the order in the house, to maintain that everyone is still doing productive things, and to make sure that they know that they have to earn their keep around the house. They're not just going to sit around all day, make a mess, eat, and play on their iPads all day long. That's just not how it's going to work. So a couple years ago, we implemented this summer list idea, and each of the children has their own list based on their age and their abilities. And on the list are various things like chores and like to-do items. And until all of those things are finished, then they can't go on their iPads, they can't watch TV, they can't do anything like on a screen at all until the entire list is finished. And that has been working so well for us. Like I said, I think this is the third summer we're going to be doing it. Might even be the fourth. But it works like a charm because the kids wake up first thing in the morning and they start working on their list. Whereas in the past, they would probably wake up and turn on the TV and sit around for an hour and just do nothing. They're waking up and they're doing their list. They're starting to work on it because they have this goal in mind that they want to get their list accomplished so they can, do what they want to do for the day. And it really has worked really well. I was nervous at first because I thought that I was going to get a lot of pushback from it because, whenever you implement something new with kids, especially if they're a little bit older, they're like, why do we have to do this? Like, this is not cool. I don't want to do this. But if you set the standard and you set the rules and you stick to it, those are the main ideas in, formulating new habits is just as you got to stick to your guns and you can't let them push you around. You can't let them, complain and get their way. You have to say, yep, this is what we're doing and this is what it's going to be and not back down from that. And once that happens, they get into a routine and they start creating these habits. And kids do love consistency, whether or not they act like they do. They do. They do need and thrive off of consistency. So if you put these practices in place, they're going to expect this every single summer or maybe every holiday break. Whenever they're off from school for an extended period of time, they're going to expect to have these chores, this list, like they're not going to just skate by. So I'll share with you a couple things that we have on our list, and then I'm going to give you guys this really cool thing that I came across that I want to add into additionally to the list. So on our list, we have things like make bed, brush teeth, clean up your bedroom, read 20 minutes. So for us, it's we read 20 minutes and we do a Bible story. And then after we read, we write in our journal about the Bible story that you read because I want them to not just skim through it. I want them to read it and then write about it so that I know it's actually getting into their head. And then we write down 3 things that we're grateful for because I want to teach them about gratitude. There's so much that we can be thankful for. So we write that down every single day. And then depending on who the child is, they have different chores. Like one of them has to unload the dishwasher or load it. One of them has to wipe down the toilets. One of them has to feed the chickens. One of them has to vacuum and dust. The other one has to wipe down the windows. Things like that. One of them has to wipe down the bathroom sinks. That kind of stuff. But basically, like everything needs to be tidied up. My one son has on his list, he has to pick up all his toys. So I don't want any Legos around. I don't want any like Nerf guns or anything like that all laying around the house. If you're thinking you're going to get on your iPad or watch TV, everything else better be cleaned up. So that kind of stuff. Then I have things like playing outside for 30 minutes. They have to play outside for 30 minutes before they can do anything. So obviously they usually end up spending a lot more time than 30 minutes a day in the summer, but it's just a good rule of thumb to have that it gets into their mind that they need to go out there and do something. Usually they jump on the trampoline, which ends up being exercise, so it usually works out well. And then if they're old enough, we have them do the laundry, washing and drying it, maybe folding their clothes and putting them away. And then, of course, we have things that say, like, look out for ways to help the family. So if you see one of your other family members that needs help with something, look for the opportunity to help them so that you can be helpful. So it's things like that we have that really, really work super well, and everybody works to accomplish their list. And then once they do, they feel this sense of accomplishment and they feel proud of themselves. And then they feel like they earned their time on their screen. However, I decided this year that I would like to start implementing a little bit more work for their, earning of their screen time, because I still don't feel like, it's enough, honestly. Only because the screens are in such demand, and I really would rather them not spend time on the screens, and if they're going to, I want them to really, really earn it. I want them to know that it's not just, you get to blow through a couple things and then you could play on your iPad all day long. Which, by the way, we don't do. We time them. They get 20 minutes a day, and that's it. So there's that. But I still felt like, you know what? I want to make them do more. I want them to really, really earn this. So I was thinking about coming up with some sort of like point system where they had to earn a certain amount of points for them to use their iPad or use the computer. And the way that they earn the points would be by doing chores or something like that. But I was just toying around with the idea until today. I was looking through Pinterest and I came across this this chore system that somebody else created. It's called Mom Bucks, and I'm probably not going to call it that, but it's basically like it's paper money, so it's like Monopoly money, and you hand out these bucks for the chores that you write down. So, for example, you have 2 columns. On the left-hand column, you have the chore item, or like not necessarily a chore, but the to-do item. And then on the right-hand column, you have the value of that item. So cleaning up your room would be 1 mom buck. Taking the dog for a walk, 1 mom buck. Vacuum 1 room, 1 mom buck, etc., etc., etc. And there's all kinds of stuff like pick up 20 items, straighten Legos, read for 10 minutes, do a puzzle, play a board game, exercise, different things. And you can give the value for different, like for more things. Like say you want to have your kids play more games, like play more board games, you can make the value of that more, like 3 mom bucks instead of just 1, so that they're incentivized to do those things because they'll earn more money. So it's like a way that we can kind of trick the system and get them to do what we want them to do by, giving them more valuable, reward for it. And then the really cool part is that they get to spend the mom bucks. And this I love, because then they have to basically use their bucks that they earned to play on their device or watch TV or do something fun. So for example, 30 minutes of iPad would be 3 mom bucks, or 30 minutes of TV, 3 mom bucks. Going out to play with a friend, 1 mom buck. Getting a snack, 1 mom buck. Let's see. But then what's really cool, I love that this person put this, and I'm totally doing this. If you argue or if you do something wrong, you have to pay the mom back the bucks. If you're basically acting a fool and you're not doing what you're told, you have to pay back the bucks that you earned, which is so cool. So it shows, consequences. There's consequences to the actions, all that stuff that you just earned. Now you have to hand it back because you didn't do what you're supposed to do. So like if you're arguing with your siblings, you have to pay 1 mom buck. If you're arguing with mom, 1 mom buck. If you didn't put your shoes away, that's another one. Jackets not put away, another one. Just being generally not good, like not doing what you're told. And then for each time you do that, it's another buck. So that adds up really quickly. So they might think that they're like earning all this money, but if they start to act bad, then they're going to get that taken away. They're going to have to pay it back. So I totally love this idea, and I just found it today, so I wanted to share that with you guys. I'm going to be adopting it. I'm going to be adding it into the summer system that we already have. I haven't figured out exactly what I want to do as far as, like, am I going to reward what I already assigned and then just add more things? I might do that. Or I might just come up with like an additional list of stuff for them to do that includes more chores and things. Because giving your kids chores is so good for them. even like little silly stuff like, and I know that it ends up being more work for us parents when the kids are doing the chores because they end up making a mess. Like if they're loading up the dishwasher, there's going to be soap and suds and water all over the floor when they're finished because they're just messy. But, you know, them doing it, them getting that sense of like, I'm pitching in and I'm being part of the family is so much more important. And yes, it might take us a little bit longer in the, you know, in the beginning until they start getting the hang of it. But honestly, it really does make such a difference when we, you know, make our kids earn their keep, really. You know, I when I was growing up, I always had to earn my keep. I had to do chores. I didn't get, you know, a free ride and just got to sit around all day long. So for us parents who are complaining that our kids are entitled and that they're not doing anything and that they're lazy, well, maybe we have to look at what we're doing and what are we expecting from them? Are we letting them be like that, or are we, you know, really giving them the expectation that they have to earn their way into the house? They can't just live here without doing anything, you know? We have to teach them that. That's our job. So I hope you guys love this. I hope you implement it. I hope you maybe implement parts of it or all of it. Or if you have a better way that you like to, you know, have your kids go, like doing their summer chores and whatever you think, like if you have a really cool way that you do it, I would love to hear about it. I would love for you to send me a message on Instagram at The Healthy Happy Mommy, or you can email me hello@thehealthyhappymommy.com. I would love to hear all about it. And I would love to hear if you do start implementing this, what your kids think, if they like it, if they don't like it. But I'll tell you what, if they don't like it right away, they'll learn to get used to it at least. They may not ever like it, but at least they'll get used to it. And like I said, consistency is really, really important. So don't let it scare you. Just do it. You're the parent, remember? They are not the parent. So you just put on your big girl panties and get moving and get this done. So I hope you guys like this. I will be back next week. Don't worry, unless God forbid I get sick again, but I don't think that will happen. So I will be back next week and we will talk again. So until then, take care. Bye.